Good evening, Nigeria. Tonight on the issues, we're diving into a firestorm of controversy, power, and accountability. Tinubu under fire, 2 years in power, and the opposition says his government has failed Nigerians. Soaring inflation, rising debt, and broken promises. Is this a crisis of leadership or political noise? Meanwhile, Judgment Day in Edo, the Court of Appeal sides with Governor Monday Okpebolo. But can this victory heal a divided state, or has the political wound just deepened? And then, a nation in disbelief. WAEC forces students to write exams at night in Taraba and Ogun State. And unless the leak triggers chaos, but who's protecting our children? And who's being held accountable? These aren't just stories, these are national flashpoints. I am Jerry Apeloi, and this is the Issues on Voice of the People TV. Tonight I'm being joined by a panel of esteemed analysts, expert voices who will cut through the noise and bring you real clarity. Stay with us. This is where the nation tunes in for truth. This is the Issues. We'll now go on a quick short break. When we'll come back, we'll dig deep into these topics and more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's not dive straight into today's discussion. We start off with it's exactly 2 years since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office, but instead of celebration, his administration is facing a wave of fierce criticism, particularly from opposition figures who say Nigeria is worse off today than it was in 2023. In a strongly worded statement posted on Atiku's official X handle, the former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, described the Tinubu-led government as incompetent, disconnected from the people, and aggressively anti-poor. The opposition paints a grim picture: a 150% spike in national debt, rapidly rising tuition fees in public universities, inflation that continues to choke household incomes, and a wealth gap that increasingly favors the political elite while pushing millions further into poverty. They also accuse the government of eroding transparency and accountability, two pillars they say are crucial in any functioning democracy. According to them, no previous administration has delivered this level of hardship in such a short span. These criticisms land as Nigerians continue to grapple with soaring food prices, unstable power supply, and a depreciating naira. While the presidency has not yet issued an official response to these allegations, which definitely are clear, today's backlash reflects a growing public frustration and raises questions about the government's performance halfway through its term. We'll bring you more updates as this story develops, and coming up, definitely our political analysts will be analyzing this situation on the implications of this mounting opposition pressure. And today I'm delighted to be joined here in the studio by Mr. Peter Anosike. Mr. Anosike is a great philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And of course, joining us virtually from Benin, we have Comrade Envinghari Osa Kindness, Zonal Vice President of South Nigerian Youth Organization, and former leader, EGO, Local Government Legislative Arm. We also have Comrade Bobby Egosa Obayuwana, He is a public affairs analyst and political commentator. Good evening. All right, we understand that our comrades are not set to join us, but we start with our philosopher in the studio. Definitely you're not a comrade. Are you a comrade too? Or are you just a philosopher? And a great author at that. Okay, Peter Noske. All right, let me start with you. Mr. Noske, 2 years in, is it fair to call Tinubu's administration an unprecedented failure? Or is this just a clear assessment?
A government that knows its onions manifests within 8 months. Any government that knows what it is doing manifests under 8 months. Donald Trump began to manifest within a week. In just 4th day of inauguration, he signed more than 20 executive orders. This shows a government, somebody who comes in prepared. So when they talk about hit the ground, understand me? Running. You don't come to learn in government. You don't come to learn in government because this is about the welfare of the people. It's just a doctor who has been certified coming to learn on the job. You'll be killing people. So this is exactly what the Tinubu government is doing. Coming to be doing
experiments,
trial and error with that for people. So I think it's not the only person that said that. Obiora Ifo of Labour Party said that. Civil society groups also said that. One civil society, Huriwa, said that within 2 years of Tinubu's administration, 10,217 people died. Within 2 years of Tinubu's in office. And the number one responsibility of government is protection of life and property. That's the no. So Tinubu has failed in his primary role, which is protection of life and property. For 10,270 people to die within 2 years. Why Nigeria is not fighting a war? Understand me? We have not been invaded by any country, neither has we invaded another country, so we are not officially in war. Then why should more than 10,000 people die? It's because the government has no answer to insecurity. Then in economy, by this time, 2023, fuel was sitting at 197 naira per liter. 197 naira per liter. So today it's sitting above 800. Understand me? By this time, 2 years ago, exchange rate was about 400 naira. Today it's about 1,500. So check the cost of transport, check the prices of food in the market. Check security. You know that Tinubu has failed in every sphere of human being. He has failed in every sector. Economy, security, infrastructure. And I keep on saying that the government is an appraisal of incumbent stewardship. So there's no sector of the economy that you give Tinubu a pass mark. Or there's sycophants. Or there's sycophants are those who are stealing from the system. For over and over, they have declared a state of emergency on agriculture 3 times. And they will still do it over and over. Because those who are producing food are the farmers in Benue, in Plateau. Most of them are now in IDP camps. Who's to farm? Understand me? There's no stable there's no stable electricity. So businesses cannot grow where there's no energy. Importation, cost of importation is very high. People who were importing about 10 containers 3 years ago can now barely afford only one or two. So it is from fry pan to fire for Nigerians under Bola Tinubu.
Wow, quite a very interesting and bold assessment of the Tinubu's government with a reported 150% increase in national debt and soaring university fees. Who's really benefiting from Tinubu's economic policies? You take a look at it.
Well, it is himself, number one. Members of his family, number two. Then the political appointees, number three. These are the only people that have benefited from his administration. Himself, members of his family, and his political appointees. 99% of Nigerians are suffering. Today, you are either a beneficiary or you are suffering.
But Atiku has just made a damning statement, said, you have failed. That means, what kind of assessment does that say about the Tinubu's government? Is it just someone who's just trying to make a political statement, taking a look at the life of Nigerians since 2023 till now? Can we just say that this government has failed, pack your bags and start preparing to leave in 2027?
Did I also make a political statement? I gave you facts and figures. By this time, 2023, fuel is 197 naira per liter. Exchange rate is 400 naira per dollar. So, price of food in the market has tripled. Understand me? Insecurity, they say 10,217 people died under Tinubu's administration. So, which sector has he done well? Just mention one. So when Atiku said that he had failed, to me, it's a woeful failure, colossal failure. But when you talk, they say that you are disgruntled, you are in the opposition. Understand me? You are enemy of the government. But nobody can deny statistics. The statistics are there.
Atiku also referred that the government is aggressively anti-poor. Do the facts support that claim? Or is there a broader reform agenda we are missing? Because they keep on giving us figures that they've registered more people in the NHIS, they are tackling poverty, they are giving palliatives, the school loan, and so on and so forth. But the average man on the street is still going to bed hungry. So what facts and figures buttress that this government is actively looking at the way of alleviating the sufferings of the poor? Because he promised that he was going to let the poor breathe, but it looks like the poor is choking.
Well, they say that the test of the pudding is in the eating. So the measure of government is the quality of life of the people. So is the quality of life of Nigerians better today than 2 years ago? But the answer is no. So that's why I say it is from fry pan to fire. The kind of suffering that Nigerians are in now is unprecedented. Apart from the Civil War, it has never been this worse. Apart from the Civil War, it has never been this. Going by what Nigerians are going through, everybody is now begging on the road. Help me with this, help me with that, help me with transport, help me with feeding, and so on and so forth. It's under Tinubu that people were stampeded because of they come to beg for water to this and eat.
Let's look at since 1999. We know that May 29th, this day, used to be a day where Nigerians look forward to celebrating Democracy Day. But we can see if you go to the streets, go to the major cities of the country, there's no mood to show that Nigerians are marking a democracy day or remembering that, okay, now we have a president. Let's remember the day he did his inauguration and let's look forward to a better future for the country. Why is there no fanfare? Why is there so much disquiet?
Was there fanfare when he was declared president? The people celebrate when he was declared president. So it is still the same thing. Understand? So what he would have done is to kind of raise that emotion from people's mind. They're not happy that I'm elected. Let me now make them happy. So the situation has not changed. It has remained the same. And it will continue to remain the same until May 2027.
Why does it look like there's no hope? Because the mantra of this government has been renewed hope. We all know how the promise changed in the first 4 years and onto the 8 years of Buhari's administration. Now renewed hope. Why is it that there's nothing like it's looking renewed?
This government, APC was founded on propaganda. Understand me? So propaganda is their tool. And but Bob Marley say you can deceive some people sometimes, but you cannot deceive all the people all the time. So they deceived the Nigerians in 2015, but Nigerians are now wiser. Nigerians are now wiser. Nigerians have woken up. And that's why today, apart from maybe what they did in Abuja, there's nothing like anniversary anywhere in the country. Understand me? Nobody is celebrating apart from the sycophants and those who are stealing from the system.
Let's take a look at the president. In his speech, he made the fact that the decisions made in the past have swallowed the future of the country. That's why they had to make bold decisions. They keep talking about bold decisions made to salvage the future of the country. If the president cannot live to tell what happens in the future, what is now what does it now look like? What plan are you making for the future when those in the present cannot even enjoy and say that the future is looking bright? Why so much talk on bold decisions? But we see the political elite still living in squalor and enjoying and living in the face of the people without apology.
Well, in the Bible, it was written that the Paternoster, that's the Lord's Prayer, say, give us this day. Give us this day our daily bread. Not give us or the future. You have to be alive to see or the future. But these guys, what they are doing, they say that it is hope, renewed hope. So they have nothing for today, but they will tell you that there will be something tomorrow. In philosophy, we are taught that from nothing, nothing comes. From nothing, nothing comes. So Tinubu has nothing, and nothing will come from the state of nothingness. So telling you, have patience, we know what you are going through, we are doing something about it, they are deceiving you. From nothing, nothing comes. Somebody who cannot guarantee you are today cannot guarantee you are tomorrow. Basic.
All right, let's go to our virtual guests. We understand that they are now with us. And talking about Comrade Evigari Osakaines, who is a zonal Vice President, South Nigerian Youth Organization. Good evening. Great to have you on the issues. Good evening, Comrade Osakaines. All right, let me go over to Comrade Bobby Egosa. Comrade Bobby Egosa, are you with us? Can you hear us? Okay, I can hardly hear you,
I can hear you. Good evening.
Okay, Comrade Egosa. Okay, we're just talking about the assessment of Tinubu's 2 year in office. What's your assessment coming from Tinubu? Coming from Atiku's comment about the government of Tinubu has failed, and he termed it unprecedented failure.
For me, I want to place it on record that the worst democratic administration that Nigerians have ever faced in their history is under the tenure of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And Atiku is very correct when he said that you have failed, talking about Mr. President. If you go to the streets of Nigeria, nobody is celebrating Democracy Day. And the reasons for that are not far-fetched from the fact that in security, Tinubu has failed. In agriculture, Tinubu has failed. In education, Tinubu has failed. In infrastructure, Tinubu has failed. As a Nigerian that speaks truth to power, I will come from this analysis. As at December 2014, the International Monetary Fund, otherwise known as World Bank, rated Nigeria as the fastest growing economy in Africa. As at then, the fuel pump price was just 85 naira, which was later moved to 97 naira by the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's led administration. Fast forward to 2023, the fuel pump price under President Muhammadu Buhari was 197 naira per liter. And even at that, Nigerians complained bitterly that there was insecurity in the country, there was no growth in our educational sector, our agricultural sector is currently epileptic. If you go to Benue, which is the food basket of the nation, there is insecurity. If you go to Maiduguri, there is insecurity. In many parts of the country, Nigerians can no longer sleep with their two eyes closed. And somebody from nowhere said that he is bringing a renewed shege of a supposed hope to Nigerians who cannot find bearing with the current reality from that hope that they brought from 2023 till date. Statistically, we now have more of out-of-school children under the Tinubu-led administration. And they are coming out to give us all manners of cosmetic policies in form of net fund, where they are now using the part of the proceeds of the removal of subsidy to pay tuition for some selected students in the higher institution, and they call that achievement. It is also in this tenure that Nigerians can no longer boast of a square meal. As I speak to you, over 75% of Nigerians can no longer boast of eating on a daily basis. And we say we have government. We also have a situation where over 10,217 persons have died, which is the highest mortality rate in any democratic administration in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is coming from this same Tinubu-led administration. It is also in this renewed Shege's administration that we now have the highest pace of insecurity in the country. Nigerians are dying in their numbers on a daily basis, yet somebody is always fabricating figures of supposed achievements that their renewed Shege's administration has recorded. If you go to the streets of Benin City, Nigerians are gloomy over there because they have no reason to celebrate, since they cannot boast of 3 square meals in their country because the agricultural sector is not productive under Tinubu's administration. They don't have security. They cannot sleep with their 2 eyes closed under Tinubu's administration. Nigerians are not living by grace. In fact, most Nigerians now rely on external support from their family members, friends, and relatives in the diaspora. Yet we say we have a president that says he's performing.
Comrade,
it is also in this government.
Is there hope? Is there hope?
There is no hope.
What's the way forward?
The way forward is for Nigerians to wake up and do the needful in 2027. Nigerians are intelligent people. Nigerians are resilient people.
All right.
Nigerians are creative people. Nigerians are a population that is blessed with a nation that has abundance of both material and human resources. Unfortunately, we have the worst form of leadership in a supposed democracy. So the way forward is for Nigerians to begin to be more united, put aside their ethnic chauvinism, their religious affiliation, and come to a cohesive whole to take a national decision that will help move this country forward. And it will be done in 2027. Okay. The political class should also be aware that Nigeria belongs to Nigerians and not for themselves only.
All right, comrade, well, point taken. Mr. Nosuke, you can see the comrade is really vibrating, and definitely it's not really positive. And I remember back in my university days, though I was in a little bit of student politics, but definitely not on the lighter part of activism, of getting things done right. What's the way forward? Because now it looks like the president is comfortable, he's not in touch with the realities on ground. And it looks like the political elite feels that all is well and good. They are only planning towards the next election. They are not even planning to make life better for the average Nigerians. Nobody is talking about the close of the Port Harcourt refinery anymore. Nobody is talking about the dilapidated Warri refinery. Nobody is even talking about the crude for Naira sale. How is it alleviating the sufferings of Nigerians? Have the price of fuel is no longer, they're not going to talk about is the price of fuel going to go down so that Nigerians can afford it. They are not talking about the CNG anymore, Mr. Nosuke. They are not talking about all of the palliatives they promised and so on and so forth. The only things we are hearing is 2027 election, governors decamping, a lot of distraction from what is really supposedly the government's responsibility.
Well, the only hope is a democratic rebellion of the masses. That's the only way to go. A democratic rebellion of the masses. I keep on saying to refuse to vote is not a strategy. It is a surrender. When you refuse to vote, you are helping the government in power to continue. That is it. So the only hope is for Nigerians to say enough is enough. We cannot continue on this path anymore. Other countries have done that. Ghana, how did John Mahama come on board? Last year, Ghanaians did an appraisal of the government. They realized that the past government, that their lives were better than what they were having in 2024. Understand me? They realized that their life was better with the previous government. They said, no, we cannot continue on this suffering. They voted the incumbent out. And that's why Mahama become the president. So the way forward is for Nigerians to come together, because people united can never be defeated.
Yeah.
People united can never be defeated. So if you are doing I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Yoruba, I'm a Do, I'm Igbo, you are on your own. Because when you go to the market, they don't ask you which tribe or you are from, or which religion or you are from. The one thing that unites Nigerians is hunger. The one common denominator that we have in this country is hunger. And we have to use that, understand me, as a platform. Politicians are talking about interest. Interest unites politicians. So hunger should unite the masses. And when we are united in hunger and have that ability to say no to their 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, then we'll make a headway. But when you begin to say, 2023, I heard one man saying, I don't like Tinubu, but he's my brother. Therefore, I'll vote for him. Understand me? So about 6 months ago, I saw him. I said, oh, guy, how far now? He said, I said, well, your vote is your power. Your vote is your currency. It is what you said or your vote to do that it will bring back to you. So this is what Nigerians should know. Our vote is our currency. We will use it and buy good government or bad government. And when you drop it, say, no, I will not vote, you are also doing yourself. Tinubu had no answer to anything. Any government that was his salt will begin to manifest after 8 months. You don't learn on the job in government. You don't learn on the job, because this is life of the people that are at stake. Understand me? You don't practice with, even doctors don't practice with human beings. They use a lizard, they use a frog. They don't use human beings. So those in power must not be doing a trial and error with life of the people. But the truth, they don't have any capacity for anything. People talk about political will. There must be capacity before political will. When you don't have a capacity, have all the political will in the world, you cannot do anything.
Are we making things easy for this government? Because it looks like Nigerians are only looking at 2027. Because what's going to happen to the average man?
No.
Because now everybody's going to wait till 2027. Nobody's asking questions. What is happening for the Naira for crude sale, for instance? Why is Naira still 1,600 Naira? Are we giving them a free pass to just waste the 4 years and deny a lot of Nigerians opportunities to dream and plan for the future?
In a civilian regime, the power that you have is your vote. You can protest. Understand me? You can protest, but your ultimate power is your vote. There's nothing that you can do now. And even these people, when you protest, they will turn the soldiers against you. Understand me? You will be arrested and be charged for what?
Treason.
Treason.
Treason is now the word.
Understand me? And so the only thing is for Nigerians to open their eyes and decide whether to go to continue on this path or to say no.
So we're going to tolerate all of this mess till 2027?
What do you think that you can do? There's nothing you can do. In other parts of the world, you can talk about impeachment, but we have the worst National Assembly in the world. Maybe you heard what the appeal court in Canada said today about the professor that rigged the election for Babio. Understand me? So that's the kind of people that you have in power. Understand? So for me, Tinubu government has no answer for anything. Understand? And it will continue this with this trial and error until 2027. Maybe they are saving the crude, the subsidy money with intention to buy people in 2027. So it now behoves on Nigerians to develop that capacity to say no. Go to hell with your 10,000 naira.
All right. Before I go to Comrade, I understand that in Edo State, there is a latest development where Governor Monday Okpebolo has hailed the Court of Appeals a verdict affirming his election victory as a win for democracy and the will of the Edo people. And of course, in swift response to following the dismissal of the challenge filed by PDP candidate Asue Ighodalo, Okpebolo, through his spokesperson Fred Itwa, urged his opponent to accept the judgment and join in respecting the popular mandate freely expressed at the polls. The governor described the prolonged legal tussle as an unnecessary distraction from the pressing task of governance and reiterated his commitment to meeting the developmental needs of Edo State. He emphasized his readiness to work with all regardless of political affiliation, noting that the progress of the state must rise above partisan divides. And of course, meanwhile, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on Thursday upheld the election of Monday Okpebolo as the governor of the state and dismissed the case of Asue Ighodalo, the candidate of the PDP in the September 2024 governorship election. Okay, Comrade, given the deeply polarized nature of Edo politics, does this court ruling truly reflect the will of the people or just the strength of legal technicalities and incumbency, or can we say the power of the APC?
To say that the recent appeal court judgment by the Justice Mohammed Danjuma's led team is not a reflection of the will of the good people of Edo State. On the 21st of September 2024, the good people of Edo State, in their large numbers, came out en masse and they cast their ballots for Dr. Asue Ighodalo and Osaodion Ogie under the platform of the People's Democratic Party. What we saw in Edo was a travesty of justice, which was consolidated by the unpopular and infamous judgment of the Edo Elections Petitions Tribunal and now the Appellate Court. Now, that court judgment is a kangaroo court judgment and is not a reflection of the will of Edo people. If you look at section 137 of the Electoral Act, it says, subsection 1 and 2, that if you are able to bring the certified true copies from the Independent National Electoral Commission, that there is no need for you to bring oral evidence to court. That was what one of the counsel, Ken Mozia SAN, tendered in court as part of the petition. And even the BIVAS machines, the bimodal verification access system machines, were tendered in court. Over 153 numbers of them. But what we saw is that the Justice Pochi Ikpazu legal team used technicalities to gangrene democracy in Edo State in favor of this current infamous government of the day.
All right.
Under the APC.
Comrade, it seems you're
now, let me quickly say this.
Okay.
Let me quickly say this. In Nigeria, Nigerians cannot easily predict the outcome of elections because they now know that the political class are beginning to collude with the Nigerian judiciary to steal the mandate of the people. Many people have even gone to town to say that they no longer think that the Nigerian judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Rather, it is now the last hope of the highest bidder of the political class.
That was a damning assessment.
Thank you,
comrade. And I know Mr. Anosike stands as far as the judiciary is concerned, but Governor Kwebel has called for unity and an end to partisanship. But has his administration shown any real signs of inclusive governance so far?
Jerry, if you bring a Bible and give to Monday to swear if he win that election, he will not swear. he will, because he knows that he did not win. I'm not from Edo, but Edo people did not vote Monday Obebondo. Ekadondo won that election free and square. And that's the reason why Sheriff of Delta, pastor,
in Akwa Ibom State.
Pastor Eno in Akwa Ibom are crossing over to APC because they don't want a Edo treatment that to happen to them, period. Understand me? They know that APC don't win states, they capture states. So they don't want their states to be captured. So that's the only reason why these people are defecting to APC, because they don't want Edo treatment. Monday himself knows in his heart that he did not win that election.
So
he knows in his heart that he did not win.
Are you encouraging the PDP to take their case to the Supreme Court?
I say before I used to have respect for judges, but today I respect the Taos, the Aburus on Lagos Road than I respect the judges, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart.
That's a damning assessment.
Understand me? Before, you hardly see a judge. About 80s, 90s, you hardly see a judge. They don't entertain visitors in their house. They don't visit anybody. But today, under APC, you see judges going for housewarming. Judges going for birthday parties. Judges mingling with the 419ers, mingling with the politicians. Understand me? So, what do you see? That's why we're not getting investors in Nigeria.
Pretty sad.
Because you cannot go to invest where you cannot get justice when something goes wrong. So APC don't know what they are doing to this country. So today is a very sad day in Edo. Understand? Incompetent, you can comparing ASU and Monday is now comparing heaven and hell. So it is a big loss to Edo people.
All right, that was a damning assessment as well from Anosike and the West African Examination Council. We would have loved to go into that conversation which has issued a public apology after videos surfaced online showing students writing their WASC exams at night in parts of Nigeria. And the disturbing footage, reportedly from schools in Taraba and Ogun State, triggered a national outrage and raised questions about the safety, fairness, and logistics of the examination process. And of course, even started with Asaba, where students have to write the exams at night. But we hope that these issues will be sorted and some people will be held accountable. I want to say big thanks to the comrade for being a part of the issues, and as well to Mr. Skiff for being awesome on the show this evening. All right, and that's how we wrap it up on tonight's The Issues, where we dare to ask the questions others won't. From Tinubu's critics to Edo's courtroom drama and the WAEC exam chaos, we broke it all down. Remember, Nigeria, the truth is our most powerful tool. So keep questioning, keep demanding answers, and never settle for less than accountability. I am Jerry Apelhai. Thank you for joining us on The Voice of the People TV. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay strong. Good night.